visuals right now. Ajay, my camera person, will try and show you. There is a vehicle. Okay, we're trying to see who is leaving at the moment. We're just trying to see because there are vehicles leaving right now. At the moment. Okay. Assam Police, we suspect that is the commissioner of Assam Police who's just left, in fact, from the Hotel Radisson right now. They said a time, of course, there is a lot of speculation as to when these MLAs could, in fact, be leaving from here. Could Eknath Shinde go to Mumbai or could he go to Delhi? Of course, when the question about Mumbai was asked, he said categorically, Nabila, that all of them will go very soon. Nabila, back to you.
Polemy there, who's on top of that story right outside Guwahati resort. We see that there's some development. Some of those cars that just moved out of that resort. Of course, this raises speculation on whether or not Eknath Shinde is going to be leaving to Delhi, because there was talk and sources did mention that Eknath Shinde is also going to be leaving to Delhi, but doesn't seem like they want to be completely revealing their game plan at this point to the media, standing outside waiting for some development to take place. It seems like Eknath Shinde as well as Devendra Fadnavis are keeping their association or their communication under wraps. They don't want to extensively make this public. Of course, very silent feelers that they're giving out time and again, that they are open to an alliance with one another. This is a natural alliance. It's evident that they will eventually come together because both bounce off on the same Hindutva ideology on their respective parties. So we know that they're giving out enough and more messages indirectly to say that they are the most natural fit together. But so far, there hasn't been any explicit statement coming in from either the Shinde camp or the Fadnavis camp at this point that they want to join hands, that they are looking forward to form the government or to stake claim at this point. So no urgency shown by the BJP. Devendra Fadnavis very calmly, coolly moving to Delhi, having meetings in his own home, not speaking to the media as yet. So far has not said a word about forming the government in Maharashtra. Only you have some of the leaders on the side, Ram Kadam, etc., Atawale as well, Union Minister, who said that, this is inevitable, BJP will come to power. Basically, Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi will collapse because they're an unnatural alliance, they were never meant to be, and they will collapse. And if the Shinde camp comes to us, then we are open for an alliance. That's what the BJP has said on the sidelines, but they're waiting, they're in fact carrying out this wait and watch policy extensively. They've not spoken about interacting with one another so far. So, which is why Polemy Saha bringing us that report from right outside the gate of Guwahati is very important at this point, because it could be very possible that one of the rebel camp MLAs could sneak out of those cars and head towards Delhi to be meeting with Devendra Fadnavis, because that's what's expected. It could be very likely that Eknath Shinde himself could be very silently moving out of that resort and will be heading towards Delhi. That's possibly the scenario that will unfold today by this evening. Remember, at 2:30 p.m., in just about half an hour's time, a cabinet meeting has been called for by Uddhav Thackeray as the chief minister. He's going to be attending that meeting through video conferencing, while the cabinet ministers will be attending that meeting collectively maybe in a last-ditch effort to try and salvage the party and the government of Maharashtra at this point. The Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi trying to pull all last strings, as they do know that the end is coming close, yet trying to execute whatever powers left of them. Polemy, who's right outside. Polemy, I hope you've caught your breath. We saw you rushing towards that car, moving out of that Guwahati resort, and to tell our viewers why it's very important, we know that it's possible any time now that Eknath Shinde could wriggle out of that resort and head towards Delhi. He's not saying it, but it's likely that he could very silently move away to meet with the BJP High Command.
Well, you know what, Nabila, I'm just getting an image right now. We'll try and get that image out on the screens right now. But before we do that, I can say I have, through my aviation sources, accessed this image from the airport itself. And Devendra Fadnavis landed over there just a short while ago. We were, of course, tracking that chartered flight. And what I can tell you is that I see Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani with him. Mahesh Jethmalani has, in fact, traveled with the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra to Delhi right now. So that is a confirmation that we're getting in. As far as Eknath Shinde's plan is concerned, Nabila, what we do know is that there's a lot of speculation that's going on as to where he could be headed very, very soon. Could he be going to Delhi at the moment? But we do not have a confirmation of the same. We do know that whatever decision is taken will be taken within the next 2 to 4 days in terms of leaving the resort. In terms of leaving the resort, that decision could be taken any time. As we speak right now, they are hoping to keep their flock together, and what we understand to the best of our knowledge is that the flock is intact. In fact, someone earlier I was speaking to, in fact, joked about it as well, saying not the fact that we could lose any when we land in Mumbai, maybe some of them could join us as well, anticipating that we are going in for the kill. So they are very, very confident about where they stand right now. Now it's only a matter of technicality as to who approaches the governor, Nabila. And as we gave you a sense of the breakup of numbers as well, which we've got from top sources who've been calculating the numbers and burning the midnight oil over it, really. The numbers, as they hope, that will stand on the floor of the assembly when there is a floor test, will be Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi standing at 117, and BJP plus Eknath Shinde plus others, including independents and smaller parties, will stand at 168, well past the 143 they need in order to form government.
Well, what unfolding of events as we see here. It's so interesting at this point to see what would pan out in the course of the next 2 days, because it's not very likely that the Shinde camp or the BJP will wait until the 11th of July or the 12th of July. 12th of July is the deadline that the Supreme Court has given for any disqualification proceedings to be initiated against the rebel MLAs. So it's a good 12 to 13 days that they have, but it's very likely that they're not going to wait until then. It's possible that they may take quick action and quick steps at this point, since they have the numbers. They're not going to take a chance to part any, in fact, to take the risk to actually keep that camp united is not easy. So taking that risk for a wait-and-watch policy could mean that any of those rebel camp MLAs possibly will roll back and join the Uddhav camp. And that's the fear that one has also at this point, that the longer they stay in that resort, the morale of some of those rebel MLAs could come down. They could very well go back to supporting Uddhav Thackeray. And this is also another reason to why it appears that they're not moving to Mumbai as yet. And that's very likely that the reason to why they're extending the stay in Guwahati is also because they fear that soon as they go back to Mumbai, some of those rebels could be pacified by Uddhav Thackeray and camp, and they could join hands once again with Uddhav Thackeray. Here are visuals of Devendra Fadnavis.